Alright, we're going to solve some rules and figure out the next parts of some input-output tables that have addition rules. Okay, so if here's to check if an input-output table has an addition rule. So let's look at the input. These are the inputs, and we don't know these two. We got to figure these out. And these are the outputs. See that they're increasing. It goes from 3 to 18 and 15 to 30. The output numbers are larger, so we might be dealing with an addition rule where we add something to the input to get the output. We could check if this is an addition rule by subtracting the output from the input. 18 minus 3 is equal to 15, and 30 minus 15 is equal to 15. Since they're the same number, that means there'd be they're adding both 15 to all the numbers. So it is an addition rule because they're adding the same number to all the other numbers. If they weren't adding the same number, then we'll be dealing with the multiplication rule, which we will get into that a little bit later in a different video. But since the multiplication rule seems to, the input-output table seems to be adding 15, the rule is add 15 to the input. So we could say n is going to equal the input number plus 15, that equals the output, okay? That equals this output. And since we figured it out, we can just add 15 to the next numbers. 15 plus 25 is 30. No, not 30, 40. And 15 plus 28 is 43. Oops, I messed up on that. 43. Okay, what if we got another input-output table? And this one gives us 10, 28, 12, 30, 30, and then we won't figure out this one. And then let's find 40. Okay, well, since it's increasing, we could say, oh, this is probably an addition rule. We can check if it's an addition rule by subtracting the output from the input. And 28 minus 10 is 18, and 30 minus 12 is also equal to 18. So we're adding 18 to both these input numbers. If these were different numbers, if the differences were different, then we'd be dealing with the multiplication rule if it was increasing. So since it's 18, the rule is that we're adding 18 to the input number. So we'd write the equation like this. The input number plus 18 equals the output, equals that output number. So if this is it, if this is the rule that you take the input number, then you add 18, and then you'll get the output number. Then we take 30 right here, we add 18, which would be 48, and that would be the output number. And then we would do the same thing for 40, and that would be 58. And there we go, we've solved this input-output table, and we've come up with the rule for it. And this is how you would solve input-output tables with an addition rule. If it's increasing, if the output's increasing from the input, then you could be dealing with an addition rule. But it's only if the differences between the outputs and the inputs for all the outputs and the inputs are the same. If they're not the same, but the outputs are still increasing, like they are here, the outputs are larger than the inputs. But if they would be large in an inconsistent rate, let's say instead of you added 15 to 15, it was adding, let's say, like 10 or another number, then it'd probably be a multiplication rule. And we'll get to that in another video, but yes, that's how you do it. Stay in school. Bye.